Welcome to another episode of Fighting Indoctrination TV. I'm Tony J. And if you're in here, please subscribe to the channel and share this video. Welcome to another year and happy 2022. I wanted to do this video because it's a new year and 2022, we're about to see a lot of people out here pulling scams and gimmicks just so they can say they made it out the pandemic richer. I think I learned in 2021. I learned in 2021 from a lot of this shit. Social media can be a blessing and a curse. But the big part of this YouTube game is how the algorithm rewards fuckery and bullshit. It's one of the reasons why I have a love-hate relationship with this platform. Most of the content that is put out here is content that is not impactful or educational. It's just a bunch of flashy shit. Most of 2020 to 2021, I started to notice a spike of car content on YouTube, and a lot of that content was coming from YouTubers and from the likes of people like Hemi E, Omi and the Hellcat, TJ Millionaire, and a whole host of others. And the sad thing about it is this type of content and many other channels like it are gaining a large following, projecting false lifestyles. And it seems like it's like fraudulent hucksterism in telling people, well, you can get the bag. You could chase after the bag. You could get all this money if you follow me, follow my mentorship, come take my mentorship class, and all this other bullshit. It's like a funnel, Oh, you could live like me. You wanna live the lifestyle, live the rich lifestyle, live the rich and famous lifestyle. Oh, here's my car. I just brought a new Ferrari. It cost me $76,000. You have all these thumbnails that promote flashiness and propagate a false lifestyle. And it just seems like on YouTube, you start to see a lot of that content. It gets almost millions of views because it seems like in this whole new world, we're seeing this idea that people desire that lifestyle because they have nothing outside of that, and they feel like they have a need to really compare themselves to these YouTubers that promote this false lifestyle. But here's the real truth. You see, when they cut off their cameras, most of the shit you think you see is only an illusion. It's all an illusion. And sometimes I've even got sucked into it a couple of times. But I've had to pull myself back from the likes of Instagram and the likes of YouTube and Twitter from time to time, because I don't want to get sucked into this idea that I have to live a certain way. You get to this point where you have to compare yourself, and it's all these comparisons. Oh, I just bought a house. Oh, I just bought a new car. Oh, I just had a new baby, and it gets 3,000 to 4,000 likes. And that's what's troubling about social media. It's a never-ending funnel, a never-ending funnel of comparing yourself. and feeling like you'll never live up to those expectations. That's the crux of social media. Nothing is always what it seems. You see two people show off their relationship and call it relationship goals, but when they're offline, they might be fighting, or one's getting their ass beat. You know, you never know what might happen in these relationships. Sometimes we'll look at a relationship on Instagram, on social media, on YouTube, and we say, "Oh, I want a relationship like that." It's like, even when people are in relationships, there's this instant where everybody wants the best relationship, or everybody wants the best car. You can't be satisfied with a fucking Toyota. You can't be satisfied with a RAV4, so you gotta have a Mercedes Benz. You gotta have a motherfucking G-Wagon. Everybody wants to outdo everybody. Everybody wants to outshine everybody. And that's what leads YouTube to this whole thing about, you know, a lot of these subscribers, a lot of these people, and I won't say any names in these channels, but a lot of these motherfuckers, they go out there and they want to start a YouTube channel and they want to buy fake subscribers and act like, well, I'm living a life and I'm getting to that bag. You go from 2,000 to 24 to 29,000 views to now you just squirting out fucking 15 views. Your last 4 videos was 15 views, 36 views, 35 views. I mean, the shit falls way off because people realize that content was just a trend. And trends eventually die. And that's what people don't understand about this social media game. Everybody's chasing a fucking trend. And that's what I really don't understand. You know, people are overcompensating because they feel they not living their best life. That's why you got shit like Fresh and Fit. You know, that's why you have shit like, you know, all these pickup dating coaches on YouTube talking about you want to live your best life, you want to have all these girls, you want to be on a yacht, you want to be in a G-Wagon, you want to get your girl a Birkin bag and shit like that, and you know, they get on social media and they talk all this shit about getting to the bag, but while they're chasing that bag, they realize their priorities have fallen apart. You know, in this life, it shouldn't really be about fucking money and women and the hottest cars. It should be about, you know, building a family, building a legacy, building a business, being on a journey in the pathway to being an entrepreneur. That's what it should be about. It should be about the passion and the process. The money will come along with it, whether you like it or not. When you make yourself valuable to other people, that's when the money comes. But a lot of these YouTube motherfuckers, they want to fake the funk. They want to be out here faking it and propagating a false lifestyle. You know, I can remember going back to school, and I remember when me and my friends would sit around and talk about, you know, Cash Money, all the artists from Cash Money Records. And what was so crazy about that time period was the fact that I realized a lot of these artists that were rolling around in Cadillac Escalades and Mercedes Benzes and talking about they got ice on their rims and ice in their watches and ice in their grill and all this other shit and oh my car got wood paint, wood interior, leather interior with TVs in the back and shit like that. And you know, you realize most of them people didn't keep those cars. Most of the people that had all these big houses, especially in Cash Money Records, we all wanted to be like Cash Money Records because we saw them with the big cars and the big houses and the bling and all this other shit, and that shit eventually just completely died out, and that's what's so sad about that era. It was just a trend. Our friends, all we did was talk about how much money we was going to make, how we wanted to be the next hottest Juvie or the next Lil Wayne or the next BG. But you see him now, the only person that was making money was Manny Fresh and majority of the owners of Cash Money Records. 2021, I feel like we all learned some powerful lessons from this get the bag mentality and this ideal of worshiping celebrity and worshiping the ideals of, we think that of artists who would never ever in a million years help us out or help pay our bills. You're buying their records and you're still sitting in poverty. You're still sitting in the projects. They walk out, they throw all this money up in the air and you think they're giving back, but in reality, they're just doing dumb shit. The shit that you see on Instagram when they putting the money up to their ear. Stupid shit. That's not how rich people roll. Rich people live broke. They act like they broke. They don't go around flashing their shit to other people because they know that it attracts piranhas. And some of that shit, at the end of the day, it leads to death. It all eventually leads to death. And when I think about it, following behind other people, not living in your truth, is a pathway to death. Materialism and cult worshiping is what is going to kill us all if we don't learn the lessons from Young Dolph, Henry Ruggs, and Travis Scott. All three people, one's dead, one's going to jail, and one's going to get sued and lose everything. All because fame is what led to their demise. Their worship of money and the fact that they let money run them. They didn't control their money. They let the money run them. And I think that's one of the biggest problems with this new generation. We don't have core values about life and how life should be lived, because we have so many people in our generation that feel like they gotta have some money to feel important. And that's what's so troubling about this new generation is this idea of materialism, the need to want to be recognized, the need to want to feel important, the need to want to be the next IG model, the need to want to feel like you're powerful. But the truth is, we're already powerful. Truth is, you don't have to have riches in order to be powerful. Some of that comes from the leverage and the value that you bring to other people. You know, fame and fortune and fast money will always have an end date. And a fool will always fall to his own vices, whether it's women, fast cars, or drugs. It's one reason I myself am a lone wolf. I don't chase trends. I learned that a long time ago. When I was in school, I learned that trends die. Every piece of Rockaware, FUBU, Sean John, and Bape all lost its popularity. But we spent so much money and we wanted to wear that shit because Clips was wearing it, because Diddy was wearing it, because Jay-Z was rocking it. Jay-Z was a brand. Everybody wants to be like Jay-Z, but the truth is Jay-Z made money off the idea of himself. Because at the end of the day, you just a wannabe. You know, and that's one reason why you don't see a lot of fashion trends anymore. You notice in the early 90s when when hip hop was a burgeoning genre, was about to influence everything, even the corporate lifestyle. You notice that when somebody came out with a new clothing line, everybody started wearing it. When they came out with cross colors, everybody was rocking cross colors. When Karl Kani came out and Tupac started wearing Karl Kani, everybody started wearing Karl Kani. Everybody started wearing the UNVL caps. Everybody makes money off of the idea of you want to be a part of this, so you're a brand. And that's what's so interesting about the fashion industry when it comes to trends. Mecca, Guess, Gucci, Coogee, all profited off of you wanting to be a wannabe. And all of this stuff lost its popularity. And you can remember when you go to school. I remember going to school when I was in the 4th grade. You know, everybody had on Timbs. I had Timbs. And even though I knew my Timbs were real, all my friends sat there and called my Timbs fake. It's just like with the issue of FUBU. Everybody thinks FUBU, if you came to school with a FUBU shirt on, that means it was fake. And black folks in particular are quick to call something fake when they don't have the shit that you're wearing. I spent all my money trying to play up to the popularity contests in high school. Wearing the jackets, wearing a bape, going to Jimmy Jazz, buying new clothes. Because everybody wanted to be like Chris Brown. Everybody wanted to be like T-Pain. Clips. Pharrell. You want to follow behind somebody. And then those trends end up dying. You know? All of it lost its popularity. But we did it anyway because we wanted to be like the kids on 106 in Park. You know. But guess who made money? And look who is broke because they wanted to be so popular. It gets expensive chasing trends. And that's one primary reason why this car content shit is getting out of hand. These car content wannabes who do nothing but burnouts and hold up traffic so they can get views and likes is a destructive force to all of us. They can cause accidents, and they have caused accidents. And the worst of it is they drive down the value of a car. And most of them don't even fix or detail cars for a living. So how the hell are you buying a car and you don't even fix it? And you don't even take apart a car, a detailer don't know how to, put it back together if you mess it up. You spending all this money and throwing away all this money. And most of those cars, even today, some of those cars are stolen. I mean, you've seen on the news about the catalytic converters. How all these people, especially in Oakland and San Francisco, are stealing these cars, taking them and doing what they call on the West Coast, they call them sideshows. San Jose had to ban sideshows and actually lock people up for promoting them on social media. So the spate of car content is a direct result of communities coming together right now and saying, oh, enough is enough of the bullshit. Half these people that do car content on YouTube can't even afford the car they got. They got all these SRTs. Do you know what an SRT costs? Or how much it costs? An SRT, the average SRT runs upwards to $30,000 to $58,000. Car note costs more than a mortgage, than a one-bedroom apartment, which will run you about $1,100 a month for a fucking car note. Using PPP loans just to show out for their friends that they got a better ride than you, even though they use their PPP loans to scam off the top to buy that car. And most people don't even realize that. Most people don't even know that. This pandemic has bred a generation of fake gurus and fake car enthusiasts. And it's sad because right at the end of all this shit, most people will have moved on to the next car channel and the next channel will be just as dangerous as and destructive as the next one. And that's one of the main reasons that I did the previous video about social media censorship. You can go and check that out. These media companies, in particular, are quick to shut down any channel that promotes misinformation or talks about controversial topics, but refuses to censor dangerous acts or fake content that promotes fake personalities or fake subscribers. You have videos from India and other countries that talk about tick removals. I don't understand it. You can look it up for yourself. You know, if you want to see what I'm talking about, I think it's fucking disgusting, to be honest. And you have content along with that is just outright dangerous. And that leads people to their own demise. I didn't build this channel simply because I wanted a large following. I built this platform because I want to teach people how to become conscious about media and social abnormalities that we let go unchecked since the start of this pandemic. I'm not trying to be the next guru. I'm trying to create content that is just informational and impactful. I'm documenting my life as is. I'm not trying to portray something that I'm not. I'm not a fake motherfucker. And that's for damn sure. I live in a basement. I do what I gotta do. I write books. In fact, I prefer to write books as opposed to doing a lot of video content. I think books have a lot of longevity in the long run. And that's one of the main reasons why I zero in on that as opposed to, constantly posting on YouTube. And, who's to say with this platform with YouTube and what's going on right now with YouTube, who's to say that YouTube might be around in the next 10 years or that YouTube might evolve into something that is kind of a crux to the content creators. I mean, if you think about all the other old social media platforms, they kind of died. You look at Vine, you look at Tumblr, they died. Who's to say YouTube is next? Think about MySpace. How popular MySpace was, and look at where it ended up. That's one of the reasons why I say I don't really put all my social stock in these social media companies, because at the end of the day, social media companies might end up getting dissolved. Some of your content on these platforms might end up getting completely deleted without your knowledge because you're on their platform. And that's one of my reasons why I want to become platform independent. I don't want to be dependent on somebody else's platform. And it's one of the reasons why I feel like only benefit that YouTube brings is mostly ad content and ad generation and ad revenue. This platform isn't really meant for content creators. Because if it was, they would try to find ways to actually ingratiate content creators, but they haven't done that. They've ingratiated themselves, and they've ingratiated corporations that support their platform by shutting out content creators and silencing their creative abilities. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of these good content creators are moving off of this platform, because there's no social engagement in their content, and a lot of small content creators can't even get their channels recognized the way that they did back then. You know, there used to be a time in YouTube where you could do a video right off your computer screen. They won't even allow you to do that anymore. You had to buy a camera, or you had to get a webcam in order to shoot your videos, you know, and upload them. And then there's the issue with rendering and uploading. And then they only even allow you, even then, to render your video to the proper setting in terms of 4K and 1080p. So it makes it hard on the content creator, and puts a lot of stress on the content creator to come up with good, informative, impactful, entertaining content. At the end of the day, just be yourself. You know, don't get sucked into this social media shit. Live your truth. Document your truth. And don't worry about what other people think. Because at the end of the day, it's just you on this motherfucker. It ain't nobody else. If people like the content, they like it. If they don't, then that's their choice. I just put the content out and see what bites. You know, because at the end of the day, most of these content creators that are on here that are, you know, bragging and boasting about the biggest car, the biggest fucking house they have, at the end of the day, when they cut that fucking camera off, they ain't nothing but Clark Kent during the day. They Superman at night, but they Clark Kent during the day. A bunch of lames. At the end of the day, this is just a fucking hobby. Somebody tells you can make a business off of YouTube, make money off of YouTube, they're bullshitting you. Because most of that money is going back to the company, and whatever you make, you either making from Venmo, or PayPal. At the end of the day, all that ad revenue that you dependent on, your content doesn't sit well with them. They want to take your ads off your videos. That's ridiculous. I'm Tony J. This has been another Effin' Doc message. If you like the video, just hit the like, share, click the notification button if you want more content like this. And always remember to keep fighting indoctrination. I'm out.